regional, so that is sort of the playground.
Good day and welcome to the Wednesday, January 5th edition of the Horizon Communication Sports Brief. I'm Earl Basden. Bermuda Olympic Association President Peter Dunn, in an interview with Island Stats, discussed the upcoming inaugural Caribbean Games.
I think it's a great opportunity, and it's regional, so that is sort of the playground for most NSGBs when they then go out to first level of international competition is a regional one. And so in cycling, as you know, we've concentrated very strongly on participating in our regional event to get a sense of where we are. And that's now allowed us to move up another level, in my perspective. So the same thing exists in these other sports. So as I said, there are 7 sports that are on the cards, and I've looked at, not in a professional capacity necessarily, but I've looked at the technical manuals for each of those sports, and athletics and swimming and cycling. We know that there are spots there, either because in athletics you get to send written it down somewhere, but 2 people per event depends on the standard set by NACAC and such. So there's a process for that, and we know that we have the capability of participating in that. And similar for swimming, we have that standard. And then in cycling, there's a specific mention that the number of spots that is available for Bermuda. And in all these sports, it's similar to the Junior Pan Am Games. It's a younger age group. So in cycling, we think of it as a U23, and other sports, the age group is either narrower. It's some sports it's a 2-year band, and some years it's quite broader than that. But that gives that's international opportunity. It's national representation. So those are a really strong opportunity for those sports to kind of take that step out of maybe a small regional to a higher festival in Guadeloupe.
The Bermuda Professional Golf Association is excited to announce through the Butterfield Bermuda Championship, a bursary has been set up to assist the Bermuda Professional Golf Association and their current and prospect members in the continued education and career advancement in the golf industry. This year's recipient is local golf professional Andrew Trott Francis. Trott Francis spoke about how this all came about.
Well, I guess I have to give all thanks to God first and foremost. It's been a long time coming, but the Butterfield Bermuda Championship team, along with my association, the Bermuda Professional Golf Association, they came together, understanding that I have been accepted to the program a little while back, and they wanted to help and assist me, to get to the next level. So between my president and vice president, Mr. Scott Roy and Mr. Stephen Lambert, respectively, and the Bruno Events team and Butterfield Bermuda Championship team, they came together. They had a few meetings, and I was one of the finalists, and I was the one who ended up being selected overall. So it feels really good. I've been saying my prayers and just trying to live right. So, I've been blessed in this moment.
Gavin Manders, in an interview while reviewing 2021, discussed the Under-12 tournament that saw Bermuda boys compete internationally.
The kids did really well, which what we just talked about with having that many tournaments through the pandemic actually ended up being a big part of how well we did in that regional final round, the sub-region, sorry about that. And, they did really well to get to the next stage. Like you said, when we went to the next stage, maybe not the results that we wanted per se, but from being realistic and being down there, even though they came 8 within that 8 of the regional final, they were 8th out of some odd 50 nations that competed throughout that competition. So I think we get stuck in that sometimes, which is why I had to explain to them, you're still the 8th best team in this in this entire region. So obviously we'd want to push to do better in the future, but being for the first time they had seen that level, they did very well. We competed extremely well. I think we won somewhere around 10 sets. A couple matches here and there. A lot of the matches were tight. So knowing that you belong is the first step in winning at some of these bigger events. Because sometimes you're just walking around, I'm sure, when people, like, we've gone to the Pan American, different things, you're seeing these other athletes and you're like, man, it's this small island competing against these guys and they have so much more resources. But once you feel that you belong on the court, that really changes everything moving forward.
The MTM Singles Championships 2022 continued at the Fairmont Southampton tennis courts with matches in 3 divisions. Chris Weeks won his A-division match in straight sets, 6-2, 6-3 over Sebastian Pugh, while Scott Redmond defeated Elliot Wilson in straight sets, 6-1, 6-love, in the other A-division match. In a B-division matchup, Tyron Manders defeated Camilio Legray in straight sets, 6-4, 6-love, and Robert Richardson defeated Daniel Woods in another B-division match in straight sets, 6-4, 7-6. Baylor stretched its national best winning streak to 20 games in an 84-74 win over David Patrick, the Oklahoma men's associate head coach, and his team on Tuesday night. Matthew Elliott and his Felsted School teammates were in action competing in the National School Squash Tournament Round 1 event at Canterbury. Felsted would take on the King's School Canterbury in their opening round match, and they would advance with a 5-1 victory. Ty Hurdle's Queen's University of Charlotte men's volleyball team's 2022 competition schedule has been announced. The team's new season features 26 matches, including 10 home contests inside Kerry Arena. Last season, they finished 14-12 while placing runner-up in the 2021 IVA Championships. And that's a look at the Wednesday, January 5th edition of the Horizon Communication Sports Brief. I'm Earl Basden.